Let's get one thing straight. You are the master of your reality. You get to choose who you are in every single moment. You choose how you react. The more aware you are of your original patterns, and the clearer you have set your future identity or goal, the easier it is to choose to be in more alignment with that goal, easier than the last time. I'm going to talk about shifting your identity in tandem with imposter syndrome. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why. First, I want to talk about imposter syndrome and what, in my opinion, causes that. I would say in large part, it's a lack of confidence, but just saying that to you, if you do have a lack of confidence, doesn't really help your situation right now. So let me break down what lack of confidence actually is. Confidence is something that you're born with. Have you ever seen an unconfident baby? And I don't mean a toddler that has been abused. I mean a baby. They're confident to cry. Well, actually, now I'm thinking about people who are like really neglected as like babies. But anyway, a normal healthy baby is super confident in crying. It's like, wow, feed me right the fuck now, you know? And guess what? That's your original state. Wow, feed me right the fuck now. I have a need. You have the ability to give me that need. So I'm going to need you to do it. If you can't do it, then I'll do it. That's confidence. To put it in another way, confidence is trust. Trust in yourself, in your own abilities. Trust that if someone can't help you, you can help yourself. And trusting that the universe already has what you need. Most of the time when you go to the grocery store, you don't think, oh, they're really not going to have what I want, and that's why I'm going. You assume that they're going to have what you want. Assumption, trust, and confidence are all very tied together. Now, if you find yourself in a situation, in a personality, in an identity that you don't trust your own ability to take care of yourself, congratulations. Not only have you reached the point where you can admit that to yourself, but you have also somehow found my video. My name is Liberty. I make videos that have to do with the art of magic and the magic of art. And a lot of magic is largely psychological, so that too. If you've realized that you don't have a lot of confidence and you're willing to work on it, you're willing to change your identity, let me tell you right now, you are setting yourself up for actual confidence. Unbreakable, unshakable confidence. So if you were born with confidence, where did it go? Through your individual life experiences, that confidence proved to be dangerous. Whether that was physical abuse, verbal abuse, neglect, bullying, gaslighting, or something else that made it obvious to your subconscious mind that it's easier for you to survive if you're quieter, if you don't ask for your needs to be met outright. Maybe you were surrounded by adults and other people that were not confident or not trustworthy, and so you learned to be like them because that was what was modeled for you to be an adult, to be a successful, which means alive to the subconscious mind, to be a successful adult. That is what it looks like. Mirror that. So I say all this to say your confidence is still in you. It's just a little bit buried. And this confidence doesn't necessarily have to do with like, do I think I'm pretty and stuff like that. You could think you're the most beautiful person in the world and just not trust people. And that means that you have a lack of confidence when it comes to relationships. Or maybe it's money, or humanity as a whole, your safety. Or something that I think a lot of people struggle with is not feeling free to be whoever you want to be. Feeling like you were put into a box way, way, way young. That's who I was told I was, so that's who I have to be from now on. I just want to get something straight really quick. You are who you say you are. Do not outsource your reality to anyone. You are who you believe yourself to be. So when it comes to your past muddying up your sense of confidence with whatever area of life you're lacking right now, all you have to do, and this is simple but not easy for everybody, all you have to do is uncover the mud that's on your confidence. Polish it up a little bit. And you'll actually do this in the same way that it was muddied up in the first place. But instead of muddying it up, you'll polish it. And just like polishing a gemstone, you do it through repetition. Repetition of affirmations, of practices, of hypnosis, meditations. And I know a lot of people have problems with affirmations because they're saying like, I am beautiful, and they don't feel beautiful. And they might think, why am I lying to myself? How is lying to myself going to work? But what you don't understand right now is that You are whole. You have always been whole, complete. You are your ideal now. Just because you can't see gravity does not mean that it does not exist. Just because someone doesn't believe in gravity doesn't mean that they won't fall off a building if they jump. Creation is finished. All that is already is. So I want to talk about perception a little bit. Right now you're seeing yourself and you're saying, I am that mud on top. You are not that mud on top. I'll let you know right now. And you might look at other people and think, they're so much better than me, because you see their gem shine. You see their gem because they have uncovered it and allowed it to shine. This is what's known as the spotlight effect. You know your own faults, but you don't know everyone else's faults. So because you see your own unsavory bits, you judge them more harshly than you would another's. But everybody has mud. Everybody has suffering. This spotlight effect can cause you to put other people on a pedestal because of how they appear. You might think that they're more capable as a person because of how they appear, but that's just how they appear. You are just as capable as they are. You are your ideal now. I want to give a little example from my own life. I was working as a freelance graphic designer and marketer when my partner actually suggested to me that I look into illustration and character design. My partner said, "You're so good at this and it's so much easier for you. Why don't you just do this?" And in fact, that is something that I enjoyed more than graphic design in and of itself and marketing. Surrounding this subject, I had a lack of confidence. I felt like if I were to do that professionally, I would be an imposter because I didn't have the training. I felt like I wasn't good enough. I didn't know how to price my work. No one was going to appreciate me. That was a few years ago, and I can safely say those were all just mud. They were not real. They were limiting beliefs, if you can call them that. So the way that you cure imposter syndrome and you cure your identity, if you want to shift your identity into something else, is really calling yourself that new identity and continuing to call yourself that through repetition. A lot of people in their career get this repetition by calling themselves a certain thing, and then the repetition is through time. You don't necessarily have to use time. You can definitely get ahead of it and get that many reps in before what would naturally occur in, say, like 5 years. And what I'm about to talk about is the actual meat of this video. Everything has been leading up to this point. This is what I'm actually really excited to talk about. Quantum leaping. See, when your identity actually changes, your perception actually changes. And your perception, as we know, is reality. So that means that your perception changing is reality changing. You will start to notice that you are in a different world. It's Alice in Wonderland, baby. You'll experience new opportunities, meet new people, have new conversations. The whole world is new again. Your identity, and therefore reality, changes through proof of decision. This has a few different names that I've come across. True intent, dedication to the intention, definite intent, living in the end, living in the wish fulfilled. This state of consciousness cannot be explained. It's something that can only be felt. And if you've been around the occult circles a little bit, you'll know that the majority of magic cannot be explained. It can only be felt. That's why a lot of it is in metaphors and riddles. So if you're listening to me and you're learning from other creators and other authors and you're like, what are they even talking about? You have to put this into practice. You have to practice. I would recommend a practice of every day doing some kind of morning ritual in order to get your mind into this practiced open state. A lot of the time, new witches like me or self-help babes can get caught in intellectualizing these teachings. That's a trap that your ego is setting for yourself. But don't hate on your ego. There's nothing wrong with your ego. And by ego, I mean like your physical avatar, like the personality that you would call by your own name, or the name of your system if you have multiple personalities. The ego can play this game of going out to get intellectual or spiritual points. It might be addicted to philosophy because every time it learns something new, it gets like a dopamine hit. There's nothing wrong with going out and setting out to learn more and more and more and more. But if you are looking for understanding, if you're looking for wisdom, you have to put this stuff into practice. Okay, so identity shifting or quantum leaps. They happen through proof of decision, or the rest of the list of things that I listed. I just want to stress that this has nothing to do with our concept of time. And when people say like, oh, divine timing or stick with it and then it will eventually happen, that is shorthand for what I will tell you right now. As a whole, in these processes, time is irrelevant. It would be the same as asking right now How long until water exists? Well, and you know that water exists. It already does. But the reason someone was saying, how long until this exists? What they really wanted to ask was, how long until water exists in my hands? How long until I get water? It already exists. The path you have to take to find your definite intent, your true intent, etc., is one that you tread alone. No one can tell you how long it will take, because how open you are to finding the water, how open you are to being direct, finding your true intent, the direct path, what you want or who you want to be, that is up to you. And in my opinion, this is the way. This is the path of the witch, of the wizard, of the magician. I think that the identity we as magical people are trying to attain is one that is in harmony with the path, aligning our will with the will of the all. And that doesn't mean like leave it up to God and there's no control. That means that like if you have a coworker, you want to work with them, even if you're the one leading the show. You want to have a mutual relationship. The art of magic and the magic of art is literally my whole life. I'm dedicated to finding the answers, learning how to explain them in the right ways, and creating art that inspires people to live their best life. So if you enjoyed this content and you want some more of it, subscribe to my channel and join the community that's growing really fast. I have a lot in store about this community, so check out my other videos, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!